In the previous episode, we traveled from San Quintin to Bahia de Los Angeles, facing some difficult road conditions. A heavy storm flooded some parts of the Trans-Peninsular Highway, stopping the traffic. If you enjoy our content, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It will greatly help us. After 6.5 hours of travel, we reached our hotel in Bahia de Los Angeles. For this part of the journey, we desired some quality time, resting and walking on beaches far away from the crowd. The hotel was perfect. The village was a few miles away, and our little bungalow was directly facing the beach. The hotel had a small restaurant serving excellent food. The only thing to be aware of when traveling to Bahia de Los Angeles is the absence of cellular phone service and the lack of ATMs. The only way to retrieve cash is at a small supermarket situated in the village. The town itself doesn't offer much. It's primarily a fishing village with around 1,000 residents, most of whom are fishermen and former miners. Tourists mainly consist of people traveling with campers and RVs, but we'll delve into that in a moment. Bahia de Los Angeles is usually a good base to take a boat tour and visit the islands, or explore an old mission in the Sierra. Unfortunately, being Christmas Eve, everything was closed, and the road to the mission is not in good shape. Locals advised us not to attempt it since hardly anyone ever goes there, and with no cellular service, we could end up stuck for days. We decided to rent a kayak. The weather was amazing during this time of the year, far from the 100-degree-plus temperatures of summer. Locals advised us not to cross to the island because of the current and distance. Since we are not experienced kayakers, we took the advice into account and decided to stay along the coast. We finally reached the north of the bay where most foreign campers stay. The beach was amazing, a contrast of colors between the water and the desert, with the shadow of rugged mountains in the background. Later in the day, we learned from a local that the beach was called La Gringa. The opinions of locals about the campers were divided. One person literally told us that the only thing they were leaving behind was trash. Without further investigation, I believe campers tend to live relatively autonomously, leaving very little money in the town and maybe creating some disappointment. However, I wasn't able to verify that, and the opinions of a few individuals don't necessarily make it true. But being a sailor, I understand this point of view. I have been in many places, anchored away from civilization and never spending a cent. One of the pleasures of traveling by boat is being self-sufficient.
Feliz Navidad.
¿Cómo?
Feliz Navidad.
Y aquí está.
Aquí tenemos el pork res, el bacalao, los espaguetis con salsa de pesto, la ensalada de manzana con nuez, el margarita del señor y el vinito.
Que no es la piscina del hotel, es el margarita. Vale, las 5 de la mañana, el 25 de diciembre.
Fum, fum, fum.
¿Tú no canta? Feliz Navidad.
After 2 enjoyable days in Bahia de Los Angeles, it was time to head south to the city of Loreto. It was a 600 kilometers trip, and we estimated it would take us around 9 hours to travel there. With 2 pets and being on vacation, we were certainly taking our time and making a lot of stops along the way. head south to Loreto, we'll need to backtrack to the Pacific coast of Baja California before crossing over to the eastern coast of the Sea of Cortez in California. Unfortunately, there isn't a road that runs along the entire length of the Sea of Cortez. The crossing between the north of Baja California and the south is done at Guerrero Negro. The town was named Guerrero Negro when founded after the Black Warrior, a U.S.-American whaling ship from Duxbury, Massachusetts. Also, as we crossed the border between the two regions, we had to adjust the time as the south of Baja California is 1 hour behind the north.
O más bien había un cartel. Parece que el cartel se fue a la mierda. Bienvenido a Baja California Sur. ABC. Y aquí está como un pueblecito. No sé qué. Cuartel general.
Once in Guerrero Negro, we began crossing back to the Sea of Cortez toward Santa Rosalia, traversing a vast protected area of more than 2 million hectares, making it one of the largest natural reserves in the world. The first part is very much desert, with very little to see at first glance. However, cruising in the desert always gives me a sensation of freedom and tranquility. After hours of driving in the desert, we arrived at the small town of San Ignacio, a little oasis amidst this arid landscape. This town, with only 500 inhabitants, belongs to the municipality of Mulagay, well known by visitors for its beaches. However, Mulagay is still 2 hours away, and we still have to cross more deserts and mountains before reaching the coast. As we continue heading east, the volcanic formation known as Las Tres Virgenes, or the Three Virgins, becomes more visible. It is formed by 3 stratovolcanoes. The date of the last eruption is a topic of debate among experts. Some would place it in 1746, based on the writings of a Jesuit priest. However, scientific evidence would place it between 24,000 and 35,000 years ago, based on various dating methods and observations. In any case, they stand over the desert like eternal guardians of the past. After crossing a last mountain chain, we were finally back to the Sea of Cortez and approaching the small town of Santa Rosalia. Santa Rosalia is a mining town founded in 1884 by a French company, Compagnie du Boléo. It thrived as a mining hub until the closure of its copper mines in 1954. Following this, the Canadian firm Baja Mining initiated exploration efforts in the El Boléo mine with the aim of revitalizing operations. However, in 2012, the project encountered significant challenges due to construction cost overruns, jeopardizing its future. To salvage the venture, majority ownership and control of the project were transferred to a Korean consortium. This strategic move aimed to infuse fresh capital and expertise to overcome the financial obstacles. Despite these setbacks, perseverance ultimately paid off when Minera y Metalúrgica del Boléo achieved a significant milestone in 2015 by commencing copper production through a comprehensive process involving crushing, leaching, extraction, and electrowinning at the El Boléo Mine Metallurgic Project. After a long but relaxing journey, we were reaching the city of Loreto. In the next episode, we will visit the city and an old Jesuit mission in the mountains. We hope you enjoyed the video.
It's on the right.
On the right. Es aquí a la derecha. Aquí. Posada de